Time now for the markets with Leighton, and you say a lot of export numbers came out on the 31st.
A whole lot. The USDA, in fact, updated 3 weeks worth of data for ag commodities in one report. This week in our market segment, December cotton futures slide south. Strong exports support U.S. dairy prices, and there is a potential sign of growth in the size of the U.S. cow herd. China took delivery of the first ever bulk shipment of U.S. sorghum in the month of October. This historic sale amounted to well over 2 million bushels, according to the U.S. Grains Council. The council indicates that China could purchase a significant share, as it puts it, of the 2013 U.S. sorghum crop. The sorghum is being used by the Chinese for animal feed. Thursday morning, cotton futures were trading 36 to 45 points higher. But that's certainly not the direction that's been seen for about 9 trading sessions. The December contract has basically been in a slide and taking it on the chin to wind up the month of October. Extension Ag economist John Michael Riley discussed whether November will see more of the same for cotton. John Michael, what has pressured this cotton market south?
A number of different things have been in play here. Most recently, just last week, you had down equity market that was putting some pressure on. As I've said in the past, cotton really pays attention to the general economy because it's much more sensitive to price moves. Then the following day, export numbers came in less than favorable, so that added some pressure. But today's export report looks a little bit more favorable as this cotton prices slid. That's presented some buying opportunities for friends overseas. So we have seen a little bit of pickup over the past week in export sales. So that's been lifted prices a little bit as we've started today off.
All right, and of course, as we record this Thursday morning, we are seeing a little bit of upward movement in cotton prices.
That's correct, largely due to that improvement in total exports. The cotton looks really good in Mississippi, 70% rated good and excellent compared to 7% in the poor and very poor range. That's where we've been at since we got reports back last week. You look at nationally, not so good. 24% poor and very poor compared to 44% good and excellent. So really the national crop is not very indicative of what we're seeing here in the state. Talking to Darren Dodds, cotton specialist, he's looking for potentially a record yield number. Right now USDA's got that pegged at 990, but that's going all the way back to before the government shutdown. We'll see what the new number presents itself in November.
All right, viewers are seeing this in the new month. We've entered November now. Are we likely to see volatility here? I mean, or what kind of outlook can you give to a market like cotton right now? It's
really tough. I was just last week saying this, that we were pretty range bound, and then all these news events came about and pushed markets lower into starting with a 7. So we have seen a decline of about 10 cents just in the month of October, which is never good. But it is very hard as we think about doing any type of price prediction. Markets are very volatile these days. They've been that way for a number of years, and it's just continuing to rear its ugly head as we move through harvest here with our cotton markets.
And of course, then we'll be talking about the battle for acres as we look ahead to 2014.
I was thinking that was more favorable for cotton, but the last couple of days, it's going to be a big question mark as we move through the winter.
Our trivia quiz concerns all-terrain vehicles, better known as ATVs. And here's the quiz question. How does Mississippi rank nationally in terms of ATV-related fatalities and injuries? Your choices for an answer: number 12, number 15, number 21, or number 29. I'll tell you at the end of the markets. Strong exports continue to be the hallmark of the U.S. dairy industry as the year gets closer to the end. Analyst Naomi Bloom says a couple of items in particular are the basis for this strong demand.
Exports overall are up 13% from a year ago level. Our cheese is in major demand, and especially our whole milk powder to China. And so that's what's been pushing that market a lot higher. We have coming up, though, in the first week of November, some bigger dairy reports coming out, cold storage and along with a production report. And those are expected to show on the production side that the U.S. supplies are big and getting bigger, especially with corn being cheaper. We'll probably see some bigger production numbers. But though, because the demand is so strong, we're expecting that potentially we could see the fourth quarter price get up towards $19. But that's a point to be making some sales, because New Zealand, who had its drought, is now producing more milk. They're recovering from it. Their production is up 4.5%, which in terms of milk is a very big number. And so the global supply is getting larger. And so even though our export market is great, we're going to have some competition soon.
Analysts say we may have the first sign to indicate growth in the nation's cow herd. The rate at which heifers are being retained for breeding appears to be increasing. We may know for sure with the next USDA cattle on feed report. That data is expected to show fewer heifers on feed. Specialist Matt Dearson at South Dakota State University says that he sees two significant indicators of a possible trend. Heifer slaughter has slowed a little bit, and the price for heifer calves, especially at sale barns, is higher. Well, on Wednesday afternoon, there was a break in lean hog futures due to weakness in the wholesale trade. Analyst Darren Newsom says it's hard to say the contracts will go higher, but he is of the opinion there is little downside.
Unlike cattle, and more like feeder cattle, they do have the support of the commercial side of the market. The cash side still remains strong. So it looks like this market, if it does pull back a little, because of the uncertainty or these quote-unquote solving of the uncertainty, I still think they're going to remain well supported. So I don't look for a lot of downside in the hog market. I think it's going to stay relatively stable up at these prices until we see some sort of cash market change, some sort of longer-term commercial outlook change.
Before our feature story, let's check the trivia answer for you quickly. The correct choice is A, Mississippi, number 12 in the country in ATV fatalities and injuries.